Have you ever walked into a place so quiet it felt like the silence was watching you? Not peaceful, not empty, but alive. This is the story of a traveler who stepped into a village where no one spoke, not because they couldn't, but because something listened to every single sound. My name is Adrian. I've traveled alone for years, small towns, hidden paths, forgotten places. But nothing prepared me for the village of Dolma, a place that didn't appear on any map, and for a terrifying reason. I arrived just before sunset. The village looked normal lanterns, hanging from wooden beams, smoke rising from chimneys, children standing in the street. But they weren't laughing. They weren't talking. They weren't even whispering. They just stared as I walked past, their eyes wide, urgent, almost warning. I thought maybe it was some cultural thing until an elderly woman rushed toward me, grabbed my arm, and placed a finger over her lips. Then she pointed to the forest behind the village. Her hand trembled. I tried speaking quietly. Is something wrong? Her eyes widened in fear. She shook her head violently and dragged me inside her small wooden house. Only when the door was barred and windows shut tight did she hand me a piece of paper. One sentence, written with shaking hands. Do not make a sound after dark. It hears everything. I whispered. What hears? She slapped her own forehead, terrified by even that tiny whisper, then wrote again, The Echo Keeper. A chill ran down my spine. That night, silence wasn't quiet at all. It was heavy pressing, like the air itself was listening. Around midnight, I heard it. A faint, distant whisper. Not one voice, but dozens. Repeating sounds, copying them. Not words, just noises. The creak of a door. The rustle of clothes, the faint thud of my heartbeat. Every sound I made was repeated back from the woods, like something was learning me. The woman finally wrote the full truth. Long ago, hunters entered the forest and never returned. Their bodies were found days later, but their voices weren't. Their final screams echoed through the village for months, not as memories, but as something real, something that took their sounds and began craving more. So the villagers made a rule, no sound after dark. Or the echo keeper will use your voice until it can take the rest of you. I asked why they didn't leave. She wrote, It follows voices. Silence is the only prison that holds it. Around 3 a.m., while sitting in her wooden home, I dropped my canteen. A tiny metallic clink. Silence. Then from the woods, clink, 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 the exact sound copied perfectly. Then louder, closer. The old woman's eyes filled with tears. She gestured for me to hide under the floorboards. As I crawled down, the boards shaking above me, I heard it enter the house. Its steps didn't sound human. They were uneven, broken, like something imitating walking without understanding how. Then I heard my voice. Is anybody here? But I hadn't spoken. It spoke using the whisper I'd made earlier, copying me, calling me, trying to draw me out. At dawn, the creature faded. The villagers emerged silently, exhausted, traumatized. The woman handed me a final note. Leave at sunrise. Never return, and never repeat the sounds you heard. As I walked away, the village stood still behind me, silent, watchful. But halfway down the trail, the forest whispered behind me, my voice still being used, still searching for me. I didn't look back. I never found Dolma again. No map shows it. No roads lead to it. But sometimes when the world is too quiet, I hear a faint echo that doesn't belong. Repeating footsteps I haven't taken. Repeating breaths I didn't breathe. Whatever listens is still out there, and it remembers the sound of my voice.